Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Real Estate After Death. I'm joined here with my incredible lawyer, who I'm going to let tell you what she does and who she is. So, Raluca, tell us.
Hi, Shanice. Thank you for having me. My name is Raluca Soika, and I practice wills and estate and real estate law in the GTA, and I'm the principal of RMS Estates Law.
Incredible. So, with that being said, what we're going to be doing here is talking about everything wills and estate and planning and what happens if you die without a will or who's an executor and all the things that people should know that a lot of the time we don't actually know. So today, let's discuss what probate is and what the process looks like. Raluca, tell us.
All right, I'll take it away. So, probate is the official process whereby an executor that is appointed in a will asks the court to officially validate the will and officially appoint them as executor. So, officially recognize their appointment in the will. Yes.
Okay, tell us who an executor is really quickly so everyone could just link it together and understand in plain English what was just said.
An executor is somebody who administers a deceased estate
Perfect.
and gathers the assets, pays the liabilities, and distributes whatever's left over to the beneficiaries.
Okay.
Yes. And I'd like to add that the authority of an executor comes from the will, not from the court document that's called certificate of appointment. However, third parties, they always ask for this document. It's very rarely that a person passes away and there's not a need for probate. There are some exceptions, mostly when one spouse passes away because there's a lot of joint assets, but other than that, there will be a need for probate, and third parties could be financial institutions, the land titles office, if the person owned real estate property, etc. And there can also be a probate can also be done for an estate where there is no will. It's just called applying for certificate of appointment of estate trustee without a will. So somebody needs to step up to be the executor, and then they can go through the formal process without a will.
Okay. So then can we talk about that process? Like what does the probate process look like?
When I have a client calling me and is interested in applying for a certificate of appointment, first of all, I ask them, why are you applying? Who's asking for it? And most 9 out of 10, they tell me, well, I went to the bank and I'm trying to get access to my mom or dad's account. And the bank is saying that I need probate. What is it? I'm not sure. Help me. So in that case, what we do is there's a process where I gather a lot of information about them. I gather information about the assets of the deceased, who are the beneficiaries, if there is a will, if there isn't, death certificate, a variety of information that needs to be gathered when a person passes away. Then there are some forms that need to be filled out, which try to capture the deceased's legal situation at the time of death, which could have legal ramifications into their estate. So it's asking if who are the beneficiaries. It's asking if the deceased was married and when did they get married. Like all these different scenarios that impact the administration of an estate. If there is a will, if there's a death certificate, when they were they born, etc. All of these things. So all of this information gets inputted into these forms. Then we gather information on the assets of an estate because we need to calculate a tax that is payable on all of the assets, with some exceptions, that the deceased owned at the date of death. And then I put everything together. The tax is prepare a check for the tax, and then we send it away to the court and we wait to get the certificate of appointment.
Okay, so that process is like you collecting all the documents. It's trying to take like a snapshot of where the person's life was upon death. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. And tax.
Tax. Yeah.
Tax upon death. So is it the tax on the property or tax of the death or tax of the filing process of probate? All of it?
So In Canada and Ontario, when a person passes away, there's several taxes that need to be paid. One of the major ones is estate administration tax, which is paid on all the sum of all the assets at the date of death, minus if there's real estate property, minus a mortgage on real estate property. But no other liabilities get to be deducted, only the mortgage. And also assets that are held jointly with some exceptions, and assets that have beneficiaries such as registered accounts with a bank, life insurance, pension, that doesn't get added to those assets. So that all gets tabulated, and then there's a tax that's payable on that net amount, which needs to be filed with the certificate of appointment. Other taxes that are payable are income taxes, which includes capital gains. Not always, so it depends on the scenario. I'm not going to get into the details, but suffice to say that the rule of thumb is when a person passes away, there's additional tax returns that need to be filed once from the beginning of the year to the date of death. That's for the person, and then there's from the date of death to the end of the year for the estate, and then for the estate onwards.
Wow. That's the process of probate. Of course, every situation's different and every situation has its own complexities or simplicities, hopefully. But if you ever have any questions, please reach out to Raluca directly. And for now, thank you for joining us here. I hope you learned something. And we can't wait to do another topic next week. For now, always like, comment, and share, especially because this is real life. And these topics could really be helping more people than you realize. So always like, comment, and share. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.